Hello, caller. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're live on Jamaica YouTube TV. Just so you know, you are being recorded, all right?
Sure. Good afternoon.
Yes, man, yes. So, what is going on with you, Carla?
Okay. So my dad is in the Sav-La-Mar hospital.
Okay.
He went to his personal doctor some time ago, earlier this year. He was given a referral to go and do a heart scan because he would have complained that whenever he walked for a short distance, he would have been having shortage of breath.
Okay, okay.
No, right. So we were given a appointment date to do the heart test at Dr. Reddy's in Sav.
Okay.
The heart test was done on February 22nd of this year. He was given a referral to go to the Sav-La-Mar hospital right away. I was wondering why he was not sent back to the doctor, but however, he was sent there, so he went there.
Yes.
He went there, he was told after they did the registration, he came home. He said that he was told that the doctor had stopped working at that time. So he came home to sleep in his bed. He went back to the hospital the next morning, which is Sunday, the 23rd of February.
Yes.
I had already taken the picture, so he was at the hospital. I did what I had to do at home, went down. I saw a few workers, asked which doctor was seeing my dad and so forth. This person was sending me to that person. And anybody who understands Sav-La-Mar's hospital can tell you the level of negligence that goes on at that place. Now I'm believing, everything now that people say, I am believing because I actually am in a position to believe.
Yeah, so you have in first-hand experience of the situation.
Right.
Yes.
So after the run rounds, this lady was nice enough and she said, go to that gentleman around there. He was behind the nurse's station where you get the information. So when I went to that gentleman, he obviously is a doctor. I said, good afternoon, doctor. Are you seeing my dad? Pointed to my dad.
Yes.
He said, no, I'm to speak to a nurse. I went back to the same nurse that I would have spoken to already. And she said, I'm to wait off a bit longer. Anyway, looking around and wanting to get information, after a while I got frustrated. Mm-hmm. Having the picture in my phone, I went down to my dad's personal doctor. I asked to see the doctor. I waited a few minutes and I went inside, saw the doctor, and he explained from my cell phone what the result was saying. I went back to the hospital because he asked, where is my dad? I said, he's at the hospital. So I went back there. He said, because we already have him at the hospital and they would have started administering something already, we are not to take him from the hospital. He can stay there and let them do what they have to do because the only thing they will give him is some blood thinners to reduce the blood clot in the heart.
Okay. And what age group would you put your father in if you don't want to tell me?
My father is 72, January gone.
Oh, wow. Yes. Okay, okay.
He's a diabetic and he has high blood pressure also.
Wow. That don't go together, man.
Serious. All right. As a diabetic, in my books, someone sitting up in a chair on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, no bed available at the hospital.
Wait. Go rewind that part again. So you're saying your
Okay.
father, who is a diabetic
Yes,
person,
man.
in his 72 years old, been at the
One chair
hospital.
where it's not a reclining chair I'm telling you about. It's a chair where you just sit up straight with the whatever then they put in your hand. I have photos can show you.
And your father been in that chair for how long?
My father, days, he sat in that chair. Days till my father, and I can't call my father name because I have nothing to hide. I'm at the point where if I go there this afternoon and they talk to me anywhere, they have to give me a form to carry home my father. If he's more dead than me yard, make him go dead, yeah, so comfortable.
Don't call your father name. You know, I know that you're mad and, you know, the situation spiral out of control right now, but we don't want, you know, him to, boy, the situation already bad, but trust me, I don't want them to treat him anyway because...
And that is why we have been nice to everybody that we came in encounter with at the hospital because we know how revengeful they can be down there. We have heard other people's testimonies. We tried. Everybody went down there from my dad. We have been there. There is never a visiting hour that my dad does not have a visitor.
Oh my God.
Because we know if we treat him well, they will in turn treat my dad well.
All right. Let us go back to where your dad was sitting on a chair for days before attended.
Yes.
Let us go back to that.
He got attended to, you know. He got attended to, but he was sitting in the chair uncomfortable.
And
days after,
so
in the week, all right, before we reach in the week, I'm telling you about the chair. My brother went there Monday in the day. It would have been like a 1 o'clock visit, 1 to 2 visit in the day.
Yes.
So my brother went there, he would have gotten a prescription and he went straight to fill the prescription at a private pharmacy. To put the medication to the hospital, and his wife said that the doctor took the medication from her. Right. Days would have, maybe a day or two would have passed, and my father would have been there. My father don't want the hospital food, so we have to be cooking and carrying food for my father. We're not rich, but we are trying to make him comfortable.
Yes, which is understandable.
Right. We would have taken. So when my sister-in-law went down, my dad said, them no give me the medication with heat by. And I tell them, say, me nah take no vital. Because my father is kind of hard-headed like myself. All right. So when I went there in the morning, you know, on the 1 o'clock visit, the doctor that I saw would have said to me, I saw my father with his bag well packed because he ready to come home. I said to my father, Daddy, where you go with your bag? He said, me I go home. Doctor said me I go home. I said, which doctor tell us I go home, Daddy? Because my brother would have heard that you are to stay here for observation for 3 to 5 days or more.
That's after your father gets secured in, get bed on them
in
something,
the chair.
right?
No man, he no get no bed yet. We don't reach our part where he no get no bed yet, man.
Okay, all right.
He's still get a chair.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, man.
So I asked him for the doctor, and he said to me, that doctor over there. I went to the doctor, and I said to the doctor, Doctor, are you seeing my dad? She said, who is your dad? And I said, call his name. She said, where is he now? Call him. Signal to me, Daddy said, come here. And Daddy come right where we were standing. I said, Mr. So-and-so, I am going to tell you the same thing that I told you earlier in front of your daughter. She said, I cannot discharge you. I cannot send you home because when I came up to your docket, I called my superior based on what I saw in the docket, and I was told that you cannot be discharged. You have to be here for a period that we can monitor you. Then daughter, you know, have nobody can look after Mr. So and so cow and goat. Me laugh because I know my father I pull a stunt on them to come out because he don't have no cow and goat. Me said to the doctor say, I must see me and my brother at the cow and goat when you have at the yard. When you want to come to come look out.
Your
That time, you know,
your father full of
we
humor.
wanted him to get the help. So we want him to stay where it is best for him to stay to get the help.
Yes, definitely.
All right.
Because
So,
based on what is going on with the docket, it is serious. Situation is
Okay.
serious based on what you
Very.
explain.
Right. So after I spoke with the doctor, I asked my father if he had eaten something. He said no, which the nurse did say to me he decides not to eat anything, and he's not spiting her, he's only spiting himself. I was getting a little bit edgy on my daddy because you can't the way you forget help and I go on like an idiot. So you have to come sit down and take help where we are trying to make you get. So anyway,
Yeah, and the situation already bad. Yeah.
Right. So he sat down in the same chair that he was in, and he took some soup and he drank some water. That time he would have been on the sugar pills and the pressure pills that the private doctor would have referred him to because I was sent home from the first day to go and collect these medicines to take to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So after I fed him, I said to him, I'm going to tell the doctor now that I gave you the medication that I took from home so they can come now and give you whatever else it is that they have to give you.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the doctor and I said, Doctor, he just ate something and I gave him the medications from home. So you can come now and give him what you need to give him. He said, no, it's the evening nurse that will administer the medication that he is to get. I said, okay, not a problem, and I walked away. I went back to my dad until visiting time finished. We would have left. I think it was this other day or maybe 2 days after, he would have gotten a reclining chair after my brother and my sister would have made some contacts to some people that they would have known at the hospital, you know, trying to get him a bit comfortable because his feet was starting to swell.
All right. So what is the situation with the bed? What is going on with the bed? Why he couldn't get a bed at the hospital?
I would love for a representative of the Sav-La-Mar hospital to come and explain that to the public.
Wow.
We were told from day one that based on the availability of the beds, they would have put him on the ward. That's what the first doctor that I spoke to said on the very first day, the Sunday that my father went there.
All right. So go back to the part now where he get the recliner chair.
All right. So he was still in the A&E part when he got the recliner. He said he was a little more comfortable in the recliner because, you know, he can sit back and cock up his foot and whatever.
Yes.
So my sister-in-law would have went there and was told, when she said, she was told that he refused to check his vitals, and they asking some questions to those nurses that they would have seen, and you know the nurses have a side of story. He not eat nothing and he stand up saying I go home with him backpack and whatever, which we already know say he's that type to do it. So we never take it as anything when they say in behavior, he want to go home and whatever he not eat.
Yeah.
They fed him and they also told them to come and give him what they need to give him because he ate something. That was when they realized that the medication, the same prescription when they give my brother the Monday, that medication was misplaced by the doctor. They couldn't find it.
What?
My sister-in-law was there helping to look for the medication.
So they give you guys a prescription to fill, right?
Yes.
and you
Yes.
guys fill it. And
Yes.
they were giving your father a different medication.
They would have had him on other things because he would have been getting blood thinner, which is different from the pills that I have the pill in my phone. I can send you the pill. Different from what them would have they put in vein.
Yes, yes.
Give him.
I'm trying to understand exactly about the
Right.
medication.
So the pills that they couldn't find were the ones that my brother would have went on the road to buy.
Yes.
Right. So based on what my father said to my sister-in-law, me tell them so me not take the medicine, me not check no vitals until they give me a pill with my brother buy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That would have been a total different story from what the doctor would have said to me. He said he's not eating, so he not take no medication. And when my sister-in-law go, them say he not check no vitals because he want the pill with my brother buy. So that's two different stories.
Yeah.
All right, we be nice. We're trying to be nice because we want him to get the help.
Okay. So
he was given.
Go ahead.
The medication was found somewhere else outside of where they would have had the other medications. The nurse went outside after she posted in the nurses group that they have. They would have found the medication.
Okay.
Right. So he was given the medication that night. Now, after that, he was there would have been an available bed then. After phone calls were made again, he would have heard that he can come on the ward now. All right. My father said he never wanted to go on the ward. He wanted to come home. So he was still in the reclining chair. The next day I went to A&E. He was not in A&E. When I asked around, I heard he was on the ward because he would have gotten a bed.
Okay.
Asked me where on, and I went upstairs. I saw him. My father was there walking around, helping himself, can go to the bathroom, bathe himself. You know, it's like he understood now that he has to stay. So after persons would have gone there to talk to him, I think he made his mind up to stay.
Okay.
So he got comfort. Maybe not 100% comfortable, but he got comfortable.
Yes, because now he got a bed and shower and all of them look at something.
Yes,
there.
right.
And he start to understand the severity of the situation.
Sure. So he was there on the bed. When I went there the Friday, I went to see I saw him on the bed the Friday. I tried to make friends with a few persons, and those persons assisted us however best they could. They are very nice persons at the hospital, but the system not set good.
Okay.
All right. So my father was on the bed. Days would have passed and we went there same way. I would ask, how can I see the doctor? What time the doctor comes in the morning or whatever time the doctor comes? I was told that maybe 8 to 9 in the morning, anytime between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So get myself ready the Monday, I think that would have been Monday here. This Monday and this week. I got myself together. I went down to see the doctor. Went there, saw a doctor on the ward. He said he was not the one seeing my dad. I'm to wait on the other one. Waited on the other one. He came in, give him a little time around in docket when I see him with. Then we go back on the ward and I said, good morning, doctor. I'm here to get some information on my dad. Right. He asked me who is my dad, and he said, hold on. Pointed to my dad because he was right at the other side of the bed where my dad was. He said, hold on a minute. When I check him, I'll tell you what's up. All right, I come off, I stand up, but where I'm standing, I could see what is going on the ward.
Okay.
So I waited and he signaled me to come. And I went down to talk to the doctor. So I said, morning again, doctor. What's the latest on my father? And, anything new, what we need to know, anything, is he improving, whatever you need to say, please inform me. So he said, well, he's on the medications listed, and he was pointing to the docket where the first doctor would have listed all the medications that my dad was on. He explained that it's a rhombus in the heart and it's very big. It can cause a heart attack, which I would have already known that because I would have heard the same story at the private doctor.
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
So he said they would have taken my dad off the sugar tablets and they are now giving him insulin because the sugar is still high and it's not going down. I said, okay. I was told because I had also seen the nutritionist before. They changed his diet after the nutrition questioned him, changed his diet, give me a list of things that he can eat, foods low in vitamin K's and the foods that he is to avoid, and so forth.
Yes.
Right, so I asked the dad because I realized now that my dad was not eating the way we are used to him eating or even eating enough to take the medications.
Okay.
So I would have bought Glucerna. He had Glucernas there. So I said to him, Doctor, can my father take the Glucerna? And he said, yes. Why the Glucerna? I said, because he's on a warfarin diet according to the nurse and the nutritionist. And there are certain things that we ought to avoid and certain things that he can take.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, yes. I said to my father, come in with my father now take his food some my time. And if he do take it, he might not eat it. Somebody have to stand up there and make sure say he might take some. Said to Daddy, you have Glucerna in the bag. So if you don't want what they come with, and literally drink a Glucerna or drink half of it, because I was told that for one day he is to consume a 1.5 liter bottle of water. That to include soups, porridges, teas, anything with liquid.
Okay.
Right, so he's not to pass the 1.5 liter amount per day. So I said, drink, the nutritionist would have said, whatever we are giving him to drink half a cup or 3/4 of the 7 ounce cup, the most. Now, bear in mind, when we go to the hospital, my father will tell me, say, in thirsty. Because my father got to the point where he can't help himself,
Okay, because I was just about to ask if he didn't have any water by his bedside or anything like that.
Every day, all right, we would have bought little bottles, the small water bottles that we'd have gone to the shop to buy for $100 or so forth. We would have bought some of that. One bag he would have had like crackers, water, and Glucerna or fruit juice. When the nutritionist told us to watch what we are giving him, he said he don't want the fruit juice. I would have bought a cheese bread and a cornbread, because those were things that he would have been eating all along. He said he don't want them to take them home. I gave them to a little boy down there. We go down there, go meet from up our side.
Yes.
Whatever my father said don't want, we just, instead of carrying them home, we just give it to somebody else.
All right, come back to the part now where he's saying thirsty now, can't help himself. Explain that part.
Can't help himself. So he wants some water. If you're a Jamaican, you would know that they say in phase when someone is traveling, all they want is water. They keep asking for water. But we try to be a black woman now, say, I don't travel with father, travel. We can't accept that reality just yet.
So at what point did you get that bad? Because you're just telling me that everything, started to look all right.
March 23rd, not March, February 23rd till today. He would have gotten bad a few days ago where we catch free down because my father cannot help himself.
Okay.
My father went in the hospital, walking around, going to the bathroom. That's even one of the nurses said to us, how he reach here so fast. And we have said, I same thing no want somebody to explain to it. How this what is not going right. When we got there one evening to tidy my father, my brother, my sister-in-law, and myself, two of us, after we helped him up to sit down because he was unable to get up, we helped him up to sit up. Tell my sister-in-law, wipe off the bed, change the sheet and all of that, get pampers and so forth because he wet himself. He can't help himself fast enough because he can't ease up off of the bed by himself. So he is in a pampers.
Okay.
All right. So we clean him up, wipe him off, changing clothes, put on fresh stuff on him and give him something to eat. We roll him up and make him eat. I think I did carry soup that evening. And we give him the soup and, did a little time with him till we say, all right, time finish and we have to leave when we left. The other day we went, he was doing a little bit better in terms of raising up. Because me give him a whole glycerin if he drink that same day, when we go see him week,
And him same Thursday.
Drinky. I said, drinky, and me give him, I give nothing to kill my father, drinky. And he drank it, and he drank water also.
So is it that, right? When you guys are not around, your father is not getting the proper attention?
That's where my conclusion is right now. I've drawn my conclusion that he cannot help himself. So when he rejects the food, either he's left alone or there's a nice lady that wear pink and white where I go down there and see she helping. My father tell me that one day she assisted him to eat some food. I said it would be nice to these people because we want our father to get good treatment down there. So maybe because we went and we talk up to them and so forth, he can't help himself, so they feed him. But otherwise, in terms of drinking some water or so forth, no. Can't help himself.
Do you think that when you guys are not there, your father is stubborn? Like he would tell them.
He was stubborn in the first part on the A&E section. He was stubborn. But he wanted to come home. But
remember, you said he's refusing food earlier.
Yes, and even on the ward, he is refusing food. Sometimes we go there, the food is on the little thing beside the bed. It's not touched.
So you think that is stubbornness, or he's just not, he cannot manage anymore to eat? Is that what you're saying?
I want to think because when we are feeding him, he takes a small portion and then he tells you he doesn't want anymore. So it could be a case that he is not taking enough, or because he is not getting it. As I said, we tell you, when we go there a couple of times, the box not touch. Whatever them put down, if he eat, him not touch it.
And you said something earlier, said you guys are not accepting the fact that he's traveling. You think that is it?
Well, I wanted to think when I went there knowing how he got in the hospital, he was walking around helping himself, and then books before your queen, he is actually in that state where he cannot help himself.
Yes.
I wanted to think that's something, but I was telling myself otherwise.
All right, I'm going to ask you this right out. You think would you blame the nurses and the doctors for where your father reached?
As I said before, there are a few nice persons at the hospital. I don't want to throw any blame on anybody just yet.
Yes, yes.
But let me tell you something else now that I can stand after what I heard yesterday, last night, and I can throw blames at and say maybe negligence. One of the box of tablets that my father has to take at the hospital, it just has his name on it, and it's not written on the box how he is to take it. So if it is that we give him food in the evenings or in the day, we cannot give him a tablet because we don't know how he is to take that tablet. I went to a nurse last night. She was one of the nicer persons there. I went to her and I asked her how do we administer these medication. And she said, let me check the docket to tell you what amount he must get and what time. And it was when the nurse went in the docket, she saw that he used to get it one time a day. And she threw the one, because I took them to her station, and she threw it out in a little cap and give it to me and say I'm to give him to take. So he used to take one of one and one of the other one. And she said he's not to take the sugar tablets because he's on the insulin.
Okay. Okay, so
she assisted us. So, but based on the amount of tablets now that we would have seen in the back from the Monday that my brother would have purchased the medication, he would have not gotten one each evening if it is that they are giving him the medication in the night. He would have not been getting the tablet. How he is to get the tablet.
Okay, but you have to remember too, Carla, that these medication cannot take without proper meal.
Empty stomach.
Okay. Yes. So, oh man. So maybe they don't want to give him
on an empty
stomach because he's not eating properly.
Right. So when we go there now and give him something to eat and say we would have given him then what we have to give him from home. They could have in turn given him the medication that is there for them to give him. But as I said, when we checked the box, he would have not been getting the medication.
Oh, man.
There has never been a night that we don't go there and feed him. Sometimes I see him hospital food, we say that he eats some. And he will take little. So today now, before today, Tuesday morning, sometime after, maybe, I think it was some minutes after 12 because I was getting ready to go down for the 1 o'clock visit. A doctor called me to say, earlier in the morning when she checked my dad, she didn't like how my dad responded to her and so forth, like something else is going on. So they wanted to do a CT scan. I'm to come down and pay for the scan, take back the paper to them at the hospital, and they will use the ambulance to take him to Royal to do the scan. I went down, get the paper from the hospital, left my 2 brothers there to feed him, and I went to Royal to pay for the scan. After I went to Royal, I took back the receipt to them over the hospital. I left it with the nurses at the station. And I asked, do I need to come down to assist or to go over to Royal? They said, no, I don't have to because he will be going in the ambulance. I said, okay. Yesterday was a holiday, no. I went back with the receipt minutes after 2, and they would have told me at Royal that they close off at 3 p.m. So knowing that they might not reach there in time to have him prepared, or they would reach after 3, I was thinking to myself that it's going to be another day.
Yeah.
However, I did not know that Royal was closed yesterday because it was a public holiday. Yesterday morning, I was called by another doctor who was assuming he would have seen my dad in the morning. He called me to say I'm to come down to pay for an urgent scan. So I'm to pay some extra money over Royal to do an urgent scan because he needed the results to know the way forward with my dad.
So, all right. So you guys did not get to do the first scan that you pay for, right?
No. So I'm to pay additional funds
for a different scan now. So
no, man,
it
would have been
upgrade.
the same scan. It would have been the same scan, but it is now an urgent CT scan.
Oh.
Because it's a holiday, I would have to pay extra money for them to do whatever they need to do.
Oh.
So they are to do the scan, but it's a holiday, and I have to pay them extra at Royal for them to do the scan. The doctor said I can call over to Royal to know how much extra I'm to pay. All right. I Googled Royal and I spoke with a gentleman. He said, Miss, today is a public holiday and that area is closed on Sundays and on public holidays.
Wow.
I said, I just spoke with a doctor because I would have paid for a CT scan for my dad yesterday. However, maybe they were unaware that you people closed today, so they asked me to call you because they want me to pay some extra funds so that my dad can come over to do the CT scan today. So I'm going to pay for urgent CT scan now, extra. The gentleman said, is there a number that he can reach me on? I said, yes. I shared my cell phone number with him, my name and my dad's name. He said he would have passed on the information to the relevant person. I'm to wait for them to return a call. I got ready same way, and I was on Big Bridge Road going to Sav-La-Mar. I said, let me call back Royal because I would have waited long enough for them to call me back and I did not get the call. So I want to know now if I'm going straight to Royal or I'm going to go to the doctor or the hospital.
Yes.
Call them back and the gentleman said, the lady didn't call you yet. And I said, no. So I'm calling now to find out how much extra am I to pay or I need to go to the hospital, grab the documents and then come there to you. He said, let me call her and call you back or ask her to call you back. Anyway, I didn't get that call, so I went straight to the hospital. On my way to the hospital now, I called the doctor that would have called me. And I explained to him that I would have called Royal, did not get any information in time to know if how much I'm to pay. So I'm almost at the hospital gate coming to them. Right. They said, okay, I'm to come and grab the paper because they would have called Royal too, and the person I spoke with would have been the security guard. I collected the paper from the hospital and I went to Royal to pay. The gates were closed with padlocks. Anyway, I went to the first gate, the big gate closed. I went around on the main road, the main gate, the small gate was closed. Anyway, it seemed like the security would have seen me at the small gate. And when I went back now in the parking lot to go back in the vehicle, the security was calling to me. And I looked back. He said, I'm to come towards him. I went and he said, morning, can I help you? And I said, yes. I got a paper from the hospital. I would have paid for this. He said, oh, you just called this morning? And I said, yes. He said, come inside. Let me make a phone call for you. I went inside. He made a phone call, and he was there right in front of me, and I heard him saying, Miss So-and-so is asking you to wait like 20 minutes. She will be here. I sat there and I waited. During that period of time, he would have left, went inside, and he came back to tell me that she said there is no radiologist available for today. So unfortunately, the scan cannot be done until today.
Today, which day?
Thursday,
And the date?
March 6th.
Okay.
Right. I went back to the hospital and I explained that there is no radiologist available, and I was told that he could have gone this morning. Right? No, I got up this morning. We went down last night seeing where we fed him and he was given the medications, and as I said, the nurse would have thrown out the 2 tablets and we gave him, and then she came and gave him the insulin. All right. She tested the sugar. It was 12 point something on the machine that we were seeing. Right. So we came home anticipating that he would have gone.
So that reading would have been normal, or that
reading is high. Based on what I would have heard over the years, that reading would have been high.
Okay.
All right. So I asked my mother now to go down for the lunch visit today, Thursday, March 6th. My mom went. I called her to see if she reached and asked Daddy if he went to do the scan. My mother said, me asked him already and he said no. We said, what you say? Stand up at the bed and look if you can see any nurse over the station and just ask them if they can take a phone call from your cell phone. My mother said only a doctor she saw, and he said he was not the person seeing my dad, so he would have been unable to update her as to the questions that she's asking. We said, hold on the boomy, because me going to deal with this next way. I text the doctor. I sent her a voice note. The first doctor that would have called me to do this, pay for the scan, yes. I would have gotten her cell phone number from the first day that my dad went in the hospital, because she had asked me to come for the medication, and I was calling home for somebody to just take the pictures and send to me, and then I could show it to her, and if it is that she needed them, then we could come back and get the medications and so forth. So I got her number to send the medication via WhatsApp.
Oh.
When my father was unable to help himself, I would have sent her a message asking her if it was okay for me to come and tidy my dad in the morning. Please advise. She said she didn't respond to that message. So today now, I thought because I had her number, I could have asked her for an update. I can also forward my decent voice note that I sent to her to you for you to listen. And I have screenshots of the message that she would have responded to me. Ooh. All right. She said, sweetheart, it's inappropriate because she's not at work today, and anything relating to patients would have had to be discussed with the nurse at the hospital.
Oh, so she's off duty, so it's inappropriate to ask her about anything regarding a patient.
Right.
Oh.
I googled Sav-La-Mar Hospital's number and I called and asked to be transferred to the ward. Because I just noted to her, because when she said this is inappropriate, I was wondering what I said wrong or what I have done wrong then, why she said it was inappropriate. Because I thought I had her number, I could ask for updates on my dad, so forth.
Oh,
she said it was, I said noted, and that was it.
Okay.
Called the hospital, and the nurse that I spoke to said my dad did not go to do the scan today because there wasn't enough ambulance, and the persons who were able to help themselves, they were the ones who went first to do the scan. So for my dad, it will be tomorrow.
And the date again, tomorrow? The date?
The 7th of March.
Okay.
I want to know Why did they call me yesterday to say this was urgent and I had to go and pay for urgent scan when he has to be waiting? Why they didn't take out their phones to say to me then, get a vehicle to come and transport your dad because we don't have the ambulance to take him, or come and look about your daddy and we can put him in the ambulance to go back to do the scan. No, them a ramp with people like them at Sav-La-Mar hospital. Because if it was that urgent yesterday, they should have moved him this morning.
Yeah.
So who is there now to address our concerns? And what will they tell us if the worst come to the worst?
My God.
I want to know if they will release him. Make him come home, go lie down in a bed where we can monitor him right round the clock. Because we cannot monitor him in the hospital.
But I know. You know, you feel aware with everything that is going on. But him coming home, you know, he's already deteriorating. And it would make the situation worse, you know, but I know you're just saying that out of anger. But you can't give up, you know. You have to keep on fighting for your father, you know, and I hope someone out there can hear this interview and reach out to me, and then I could put the person on to you guys, because this is unacceptable. Because the fact that you pay for a scan to be done, a normal scan, and they call you and say, look here, you have to pay extra.
Urgent for him to do
urgent
it yesterday.
It's urgent. It become an emergency. And you know, from your father come in. From your father went into the hospital. He was deemed as an emergency patient.
Okay.
Based on the story that you tell me. So what is going on now?
Well, I do hope someone can reach out to you and they can come and say something to us, explaining what the situation is, and just to let us know. Because we can get vehicle. My brother drives, and I can get a vehicle to take my father to the Royal Medical Center for him to do the scan. So if there's no ambulance available, or it is that he cannot help himself, we have been going there. We have been wiping him off. We have been cleaning him up. So it's nothing for us to do. So we are saying, you know, if it was that urgent, anything could have happened between last night to today. Nothing happened, right? Anything can happen tonight to tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Wow. So overall, how many days your father been at the hospital? How many days now, or weeks?
All right, let me check it and call him now. February. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Today makes 12 days.
Okay. And 12 days, right? And what type of other than the normal medication, what are they doing for your father? Other than the
doctor told us they would have given him blood thinner. Yes, when he got weak, When we went there, he was on the drip. I asked, what is in the drip? And they said it's normal saline.
Okay. So they
apart
haven't
from
done
what we
anything
were told that-
extra other than those stuff. Just the basic.
All right. We heard that they would have taken some blood from him. I'm not sure if it's for testing or whatever the reason is why they would have been taking the blood. But that's all we know about them giving him the insulin and the tablets. And we would have seen him on the drip when he got low. The only test that was requested yesterday on Tuesday was the CT scan.
Man. And the doctors are saying going forward they need the CT scan to find out what to do from here.
They needed it yesterday. That's how urgent it was when I got the call yesterday morning.
And then
that was yesterday that they needed the results. When I went to the hospital, one of the nurses said, when you go to pay, ask them if you are going to get the results same time. If we're the results same time. If they say no, do not pay for it because we need the results today, the same time that he does it. We need to get the results.
Oh, and then the Royal would have made check and prepare everything, but when they do
and send to the email of the doctor.
So when they're ready, the hospital aren't ready because they said what they said about your father, because I don't want to put any words in your mouth.
Okay. So when I called there some minutes after 1 today, I called the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
The nurse that I spoke with told me they didn't have enough ambulance available and only persons who went there who could have helped themselves rather went to do scans or whatever it is that they had to do. My father was unable to help himself, therefore he did not go today. So it is tomorrow for him.
Okay, and tell me the date again.
Today's date is March 6th, 2025.
All right. Okay. So, JY family, please, we are plea and we are beg. Please, just share the video. Share the video. And if you are listening to this video and you know somebody that can help this family, please, we're asking. Carla, help me if you ask them, please, because, boy, trust me, this is so sad, man. Because money is not the problem right here, obviously. So, please, talk to them for me.
Viewers and subscribers, good afternoon. If there is anyone who is listening to this story and can be of any assistance, referring us to the relevant authorities who can assist us, please. We don't want to see our father or our loved one go like how we would have seen other persons' loved ones went. So we would love to have our father here with us a while longer, and we just want to get the help for him. So if you can, or you know someone who can, please, I would appreciate it.
Oh, man. All right, Carla. Thank you so much. We're going to keep contact, and if anybody reach out to me, I will first screen them, because I don't want eyeglass to be calling your phone. We need persons that can help, So I'll make sure I screen them and then turn them over to you. All right. So the numbers to
Thank you so
contact.
much for your time.
The numbers to contact Jamaica YouTube TV is 775-378-1640. Again, 775-378-1640. Please leave a message in my WhatsApp. If you text me from Jamaica directly to SMS, I won't be able to reply. So please just text me on WhatsApp, all right? And then we'll take it from there and say, look here, I can get some help for you at the Sav-La-Mar hospital. All right? Yeah, man. So
Thank you so much.
we're looking forward for some help. Help is on the way, Carla. Help is on the way. Yes, man.
Thank you.
Me love Jamaica, me not sell out. Them try clip we wings, somehow we can't fly out. But when we there, yard, nothing nice like Jamaica. Roast breadfruit and banana. Under the tree with a glass.